Stories of the World is one of the Cultural Olympiad projects for 2012. In Bradford, volunteers are exploring our museum and gallery collections, making links between objects and the rest of the world.
Hello there, I'm Dale. I'm the collection officer for Bradford Museums and Galleries, and I brought some costume from our costume collection for you to have a look at. And maybe have a look at the kind of influences that come from around the world, and maybe the textiles used and the designs used. Here we have a rather fantastic dress from about 1820s. It's made out of muslin, which is a cotton from the Indies. At that point, we'd just finished fighting with the French, so we didn't have any silk on it because we didn't want to trade with them. So, looking for new sources for materials, we looked to the recently colonised India.
The curator visit, when Dale came over and brought some of the collections over with him, was really wonderful to see all these gowns that have been preserved and in our collection.
Dale took us through various items from the collections, from some traditional Victorian wear to something very 70s, and then a piece that was made in the 80s by Tommy Nutter out of finest Harris tweed, which was extremely interesting, the whole style of the range.
It took us into a new department, the collections department. It also enables us to get hands-on with the materials in the collections department.
This is 1974. We have a few caftans. I think it must have been all the rage. But what I really like about this is it's actually quite a nice sort of method, really. You know, so it's kind of hand applying the individual pieces. Still the same kind of making the same kind of journeys.
If you think about the kind of industry that's been here and how important that industry is to the area.
I believe that the stories that Dale was imparting to us about the costumes, etc., are important for us to pass on to our children.
Dale offered excellent knowledge and expertise.
It's really interesting seeing this label in the suit. Harris tweed hand woven in the outer hebrides from Scottish grown wool, whereas we don't always see that in suits, and we don't always see it in suits made in Bradford, the worsted suits. And it doesn't always say handmade in Bradford. You know, worsted woven in Bradford.
But on the edge, on the selve edge of the cloth, it does say made in Britain by Abraham Moons, for example, and in certain, like specifically, if it's being tailored for somebody maybe in the United Arab Emirates, they keep that and put it down the inside edge of the jacket. My dad's a warp twister, and people put it on the inside edge, so it's like, guess whose this is.
I think the most important thing of the event for me was seeing the Titus Salt's daughter-in-law's wonderful dress with the hand-sewn pearls.
I think the group chose the dress partly because it's in such need of conservation.
I particularly found the Salt's dress interesting because, one, it is very important to Bradford. The Salt family were integral to the Bradford story.
As well as it being a dress that has the international connections that we're so fond of and want to know more about. The Salt dress is really interesting because, as Dale said, the cloth it's woven from is silk, which will have been harvested in China and then woven in India and eventually found its way to Bradford in the middle of Yorkshire.
It's part of our history and also part of the history of the world.
My role at the Industrial Museum is the documentation officer, and I have to get all the items that are donated to the museum into a database so that we can find things for inquiries or for exhibitions.
Andrew showed us some examples from the collections of Turkey Red.
This is actually just a printout from Andrew's computer.
Andrew's talk on the kind of data was very important because it gave me an idea of how they do keep track of items.
The whole logging process, how they need to keep a track of every item that's in the museum so that at any moment, if somebody needs to know about something, the whole thing can be accounted for.
And that's a unique number for each part of the pattern book.
It's given me a kind of clearer idea of where to find things in the collection so that I can see exactly what should be included in the projects to benefit the public.
Hopefully at some point people in the general public will be able to just type something into a search engine and something from Bradford Museums collection will pop up.
What the Stories of the World project offers me, I think, is it's widened my outlook on museums.
For me, it's all about the experience and what you can gain from any new experience.
It was a wonderful opportunity to work with the young ambassadors, who are the younger section of the Friends.
It's kind of opened up other avenues I can explore when I'm working on a project.
I think that some of the experiences have really opened my eyes to different opportunities and things that I can pursue beyond 2012.
This event was part of Stories of the World, Precious Cargo, Bradford.